Good evening and welcome back to Leadership TKO. I am your host, Lakeisha McKnight. And so again, thank you so much for being here. This is the night show that's conducted via podcast. And this is a media outlet for the central brand that's housed under the iLead company. Now, iLead stands for the International Leadership Education and Development Company. But before I dive in to give you a lot of background about the company, about what we have going on with the brand, as well as just talking about our topic at hand, which is women and mental soundness, I definitely want to share on the main platforms here, social media, that we're live. It's about 9 o'clock, right? 9 o'clock on the dot, Eastern Standard Time. And so we want to let people know that we are indeed live so that they will be able to chime in. So let me go ahead and do that. Let people we do have a central group on Facebook for something special that we're working on. And I'm going to talk about what that special thing is in just a moment. But I'm going to say I am live and join in. Okay. So I am going to grab that because I am also going to post on my wall. Okay. That way people can know we're live. This is the only way that people are going to join in, that they're going to learn more about what it is that I do. Okay. So why not? Why not? It's a Friday. And it's great to share, letting people know that we're live. So I'm going to try to hit as many platforms as I can tonight, including Google. We're going to let them know that I'm live as well. Okay, so here we go. All right, so looks like I just hit a few. We can possibly also let people know on LinkedIn. Okay. We can let them know on LinkedIn that I'm live as well. Leadership Podcast. So I'm just typing in for those on LinkedIn. I am live on the Leadership TKO, right? Leadership TKO podcast platform. And I'm just going to say join in. All right. So it looks like we're good. Let's get back here to the main event, right? And so again, thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, the brand Leadership TKO is housed under a limited liability company based in Chesapeake, Virginia. And it's the International Leadership Education and Development Company. Many of you may know this company as Lakeisha McKnight Brands International, or LMBI. So TKO actually stands for Truths That Have Kept the Overcomer. These are truths, leadership principles that holds true throughout various settings, including leadership in the home, in the corporate world, as well as in business. And I'm just glad to be here. It's an honor to be able to sow into your life, to sow value into your life using this particular platform. So I do recognize, and I have gone back to see where we have reached, where we have come from with this podcast. We've come a mighty long way. We're actually reaching people currently in the Republic of Korea. We're touching lives in China, as well as in Tokyo. We're touching lives in France and Sweden. We're actually touching lives in Australia, right? We can't forget about them. Barbados, those of you in Barbados, hello. The Virgin Islands, we're touching those in South Africa and other places, of course, in Africa, throughout Canada, as well as in the United States. So again, thank you so very much. And if you're watching, or I should say listening live, go ahead on the platform. There should be an area, a chat area where you can say, hey, hello, Lakeisha. And you can say, hey, I'm listening from, and you can let me know the state, the country where you're listening in from, and I'll definitely recognize you. So, of course, we have our faithful listener, Janine, listening in. Thank you so very much. Janine is from right here in Virginia, right? And so I'm grateful, Janine, for you being faithful and listening to the podcast. Thank you so very much. Yes, and happy Friday to you. And it may be, of course, Saturday in other places where you're listening live from, or You could be listening to this message on demand. Either way, thank you so much for plugging in. And if you want to learn more about this podcast, simply go to www.leadershiptko.com to learn more. All right, I'm excited. Why is this? Because with this podcast and the brand, essentially, there are subdivisions. Yes. We recently, actually within the last 7 days or so, we launched the Leadership TKO for Authors subdivision, where we're helping authors to become influential and wealthy, establishing that monthly income for themselves. So that's what we're doing with that subdivision. I'm excited about it because we had our orientation, and so classes are going to officially begin this coming week on Wednesday. So super excited about that. But we do have a subdivision that launched at the end of February, early March, and that is Leadership TKO for Women. Oh yeah, for women. And so we launched that actually in Thailand and Bangkok, doing some amazing things with women from other countries. I'm talking about Australia, Malaysia, women from Germany, from South America, from all over, including, of course, Thailand, that was present. And we provided knowledge and shared insight about women in the corporate world, women in business, right? And just talking about women's issues and some solutions that are out there. But I also believe that there can be some new ones created. So this actually continue to push and spark a plug to really launch a movement. And the movement is the Born to Lead Global Women's Leadership Campaign, where women across or around the world are plugging in, getting connected, because they believe that if we come together, and this is the mission of this campaign, if we come together and if we unify as one voice, we can make a big difference. We can love on one another, encourage one another, propel each other forward, bring in awareness to women's issues that we face all around the world in common. And then also creating new solutions if the current ones are not working well. We may need to make some tweaks to the current solutions, but we also can create new solutions. And that's what we're going to be doing specifically at the Leadership TKO convention occurring on May 27th. And if you have not received your ticket for that event taking place in Virginia, you want to get on board with that. The place where you can learn more about the convention and grabbing your ticket is www.leadershiptkoconvention.com. Grab your ticket. Let us know. And if you're having some financial issues, let us know about that as well, because we want to ensure that you're in the building. Of course, it's business. We do know that, but we also want you in the building. That's the most important thing, because your voice is very important in ensuring that we provide solutions. Solutions first, and business will follow. Revenue and wealth, all that follows when you continue to serve. And so that's what we're here to do. All right. Of course, what we've been focusing in on this month, the month of May, even with this campaign, is women and mental health awareness. We focused all week on depression, whether it be postpartum, situational depression. Right? We focused in on that. I've shared even yesterday a little about my experience, but I really want to just enlighten you a little bit about mental soundness. How do you establish that? Because a lot of times, honestly, we have so much going on. I know if you're listening, you're probably saying, amen, Lakeisha. Yes, indeed. We have so much going on. You got to take care of the kids. You got to take care of your elderly parents. You got to get your kids together. And if your kids are not well, you got to take care of your kids. Right? And if you have adult kids, you sometimes you're still taking care of your adult kids, because they, sometimes they fall short, they make mistakes, and you have to be there as a backbone for them to let them know it's okay, brush them off and help them to move forward. That's what we do as parents. But it doesn't stop there. Many of you are wives. Okay. Many of you are fiancés. Hey, as a fiancé, you have a role and responsibility to a degree as well. Okay. Right. And so all of these things you have to do. If you're working in an organization, if you have a business, oh my gosh. So the responsibility increases all the more. And then you're flustered. You're running here, there, to the left, to the right, trying to figure out. And then, of course, you lose yourself in the midst. And of course, if you are married to someone who is in the ministry, that's another element because there's a whole nother responsibility level with that. So with all of these things going on, how do you keep yourself grounded? How do you keep yourself sane in the midst of it? Because sometimes, let's be honest, you might feel like you're losing your mind. So how do you remain sound? How does that mind remain sound in the midst of what seems like chaos and so much? It just seems cloudy. I encourage you to break away. Yes, retreat. Even if it's in the current city that you're living in or a nearby city, go to a hotel if you can. Go to a friend's house where at least if you can have a room where you can just remain in the room separately. It doesn't even have to be a hotel, but a room separately outside of your regular home, something that's outside of the norm. And get to yourself. Don't think about work. Don't think about your business. Don't think about your kids. Make sure your kids are supervised and watched, of course. But don't think about those things. Just get away. Retreat. It's necessary to keep yourself grounded, to remove all the busyness, the chaos, the running around, because it impacts your health physically. After, of course, you've realized that it's impacting you mentally. And we don't want your body to begin to break down. We don't want that to happen. And we don't want you to fall into a depression because you have so much going on. So do you know that sometimes we take on too many responsibilities and we take on other people's issues and it becomes our crises? And when you do this, you lose sight of what's important. And you really begin not to get the things done that you've really meant to get done. So it's important that you realize what you need to have happen on a given day, or at least try to plan it as much as possible, and work on that list. And if it truly is a crisis where it's life and death, of course, address it. But please don't overwork yourself. Sometimes you just have to learn to say no. When was the last time you said no to someone that asked you for something? Think about that. When was the last time you told yourself no? No, as in you're not going to eat that thing because you know it's going to impact your body. No, you're not going to engage in that activity because you know that it's not going to yield the result that you want. Sometimes you just have to say no. And it's interesting because I think about myself and some of the decisions and some of the things I used to be attached to. I used to be involved with so much. And of course, I would look at my husband and I would say, well, you're not involved with little to anything. So it's like he's less involved. I'm too involved. And so he kind of balances me out where I look and I say, I'm going to cut this out. He's just relaxing and chilling and I'm sitting here running around. So it's important that sometimes you say no, you let certain things go because it's not a priority in this season of your life. And sometimes you have to let other people take the responsibility onto themselves and let them handle it and not you trying to nurture and take care of it yourself. So it's important. It's very, very important for you to take heed to some of these things because I know it's hitting home for many of you listening. Whether you're acknowledging and saying, hey, Lakeisha, I'm live, I know that it's hitting home. So do something for yourself this weekend. Even if you need to go get your nails done, go get your hair done, get a pedicure, do something, go get those eyebrows waxed, right? Do something for yourself. Take care of you. Let it go. Say no. All right. So it's importante. I might have said that wrong. Who cares? But it's important that you learn to say no. Okay. I just want you to think about that. This is going to help you to clear your mind, retreat, go somewhere where you can just relax. Even if you have a nearby beach, here in Virginia, we can go to Virginia Beach. So even if you can't, just get away and just have that moment. Sit in your car and have that moment. Get in your closet Some people like to call it the war room, right? Get in your closet and just retreat. Make sure the kids are supervised and taken care of, but just get that moment for yourself. Even if it's 10, 15 minutes in a day, an hour in a day, you realize that that hour was truly, truly needed. So I'm going to encourage you to do that. And at the same time, I'm going to encourage you to plug in to what we have going on with this campaign, the Global Women's Leadership Campaign. And the way that you can get plugged in, you may be saying, well, Lakeisha, I'm all the way here in South America. I'm all the way here in China or Indonesia or the Philippines. You're in the Virgin Islands or Barbados. Wherever you are, get plugged into the campaign. Even if you're in another country, yes, get your country connected by you becoming connected. The way that you become connected is by filling out a small, quick questionnaire. And the questionnaire can be found at a website address. And here's the website address. And I'm slowing down just in case because I know I can speak fast. I'm from New Jersey. That's just in me. But here is the website address. It's www.born2lead2017.com. But I'm also going to spell it for you so that you understand where to go directly. And it's www.borntolead2017.com. That's how you can get directly plugged into the campaign. But you may be saying, well, Lakeisha, I want to know all about the campaign. What does this include? If you simply go to the primary website, you will learn more. And the primary website is www.leadershiptko4women.com. Now, indicate that 4 is actually FOR, is not the number 4. Okay? So leadershiptko4women.com is the primary website. Check it out, learn more, get plugged in. There should be a button on that website as well that says join the campaign, right? Get connected. So feel free to do that. We'd love to have you. When you complete that questionnaire, you're going to be sent directly to where all of the ladies, the thousands of ladies, are hanging out on Facebook. And when you do this, and when you become an official member, that's how you become official. And if you're in the campaign group and you're not official, shame on you. You need to go to the website, borntolead2017.com, to become official. And when you become official, we do add you to the official members board on the website, the primary website. And we connect your Facebook profile to it so that people can continue to follow you, get connected to you, and they can establish relationships with you, professional relationships. And you can connect with other women from other countries. That's how we network. But we're going to have some professional networking going on at the convention as well. So hopefully I'll be able to see you there. And again, learn more about the convention by going to leadershiptkoconvention.com. And if you're listening and you're an ambassador in the campaign, and yes, an ambassador is someone who's representing their state that's a part of this campaign. They've taken on the leadership role to lead women by example, to get them connected to this campaign. And of course, in the near future, they're going to be providing some training of their own as well. They don't know that already, but I'm just giving them a little hint. This is something that's going to come along down the line. But the state ambassadors, hey, you got to get plugged in and encourage people to definitely be on board with the convention. I know some of you are a little farther away. It's fine. But get people plugged in that you do know that's in the area to attend the convention. Those of you who are Virginia ambassadors, we already had our meeting, but we want to invite women to this convention. And if finances are an issue, go ahead, let me know. We can work on it. Okay? But thank you so much for being here, everyone. We're going to come back next week. We're going to be back on Monday at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But until then, I want to encourage you, okay? I want to encourage you to think, to speak, and to live leadership.